Hello everyone, I am K-Vamp of Espercat Studios, and I have been playing World of Warcraft since it came out. I've been playing Warcraft period since the RTS. I love the RTS, so naturally it was a natural evolution for me to get into World of Warcraft. And in today's video we're going to be talking about the add-ons that I use to play Classic and why I use them. I also use a certain amount of add-ons in retail, but a bunch of add-ons are getting ready to go away in midnight. So after midnight, I will do a retail video for that. But I do enjoy World of Warcraft Classic. However, no amount of add-ons is going to make you a better player. You need to understand that right off the bat. So, and until you understand how to play the game, nothing is actually going to help you. There are certain ways this game needs to be played, and certain ways not to play it, to become a, it all depends on you, but if you want to become one of those really high skilled players, then there's certain things you need to do, just from start off the bat. The very first thing is the character creation screen. This is probably the most important area, because here we're going to create a new character. Notice I have it on body too. Okay, I have it on female. It's not because I'm homosexual or anything like that. This is for gaming. Especially important in Classic, not so much important in retail anymore. But look how big the male body is compared to the female body. Okay? This has something to do with the box that surrounds them, called a hitbox, that goes all the way around the character. The bigger the hitbox, the easier it is to hit you. Easier for other players to hit you, it's easier for other mobs to hit you. So you'll notice a lot of players play female characters. That is the reason for that. Is they play for the hitbox. Even the gnomes have a different size hitbox. So that is why you see a lot of female characters. Of course, male gnomes really doesn't matter too much. They get about the same hitbox as a female human. So, and just a little bit shorter. So, and then the second thing is to pick the class. If you read over here to the right, this will give you what the race does, and this will give you what the class all does. So, picking your class is very important. Certain races are better at certain classes. For mage and warlock, no. Because of this right here. Priest, if you're going to do a lot of healing and AQ, dwarf or human. Mainly human. Human priest, because of the spirit increase, all healing in Classic is done through spirit. All of it. So your spell penetration, your spell critical for healers, all holy and stuff, is all done with spirit. Gonna go rogue. Orc is a really good, really good pick. So is human, because of the sword bonus and the mace bonus, because rogue has a mace specialization that's a stunning specialization. But orc's resistance to stun effects is really good for rogue, especially for PvP. Taurens make excellent warriors because of their maximum health and their ability to have an extra stomp. Trolls make excellent hunters because they get increased damage with pets. Undead make excellent pretty much everything, because they can become immune to fear. Night elves, really good at either rogue or hunter, and especially druid. Humans is the only race that can be paladin in Classic, and I believe orc is the only thing that can be shaman. Nope, taurens and orcs can be shaman, but only humans can be paladins. So if you want to make a paladin, you gotta roll a human. And let's do that. I'm just gonna leave this at, randomize that out a little bit. And I'm gonna randomize her name. So I'll find one I kind of like. I wonder if I can just do that without the gill. Nope, the name is unavailable. Usually the random names are available. So I have turned all my add-ons off. And also, you can go over here and switch your which version you want to play. We're just playing in Classic. So, and I'm on a new server. I did that on purpose. Basically because this won't affect any of my other servers and how I have the add-on set up. So I'm gonna go ahead and enter here. And of course you're gonna get the introduction. I'm gonna skip the cinematics for this video. Feel free to watch them, they are pretty cool. So this is your basic World of Warcraft layout. Things are up here. Whoever your target is. And then you got your backpack. So a few things you can do here is we can go into the options. First of all, I like to have my how to loot set to nothing. That way when I click on my loot, I can go ahead and get it. And then on my interface, pretty much good here for a minute. Action bars, I'm going to want 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5. This action, this is the default action bars layout. And social, yeah. And so your first keybinds are WASD, W for forward, A to turn left, D to turn right, and W for back. This is in space to jump. This is the default, but this is if you want to be really uber type playing. Nah. So to simplify things real quick, we're gonna take these and unlock these frames. I'm gonna put that one about there. And put this one across from it. I like to have my frames kind of like this. That way they're in the middle, I can easily see them. Want the buffs there on top. I'm gonna go ahead and lock the frames down. And notice if I cast, the cast bar is here, but my target cast bar is right there. You can't really move that without an add-on, but you don't really need to. So we're gonna go back into options real quick. And I believe, where's it at? I'm gonna use click to move. And now, that way when I right click, that's where my character moves to. And holding down the right button and turning your mouse turns your character. You can also do it left button. Just hold it, which will turn your character. And the other thing I'm going to do real quick is go back into the options and go back into key bindings. Where are my movement keys? Turn left. I'm going to change these to strafe. I'm going to remove the Q and E and put those strafe left on A. And then I want to make this a character specific so I don't screw up anything else. So we're going to just delete that one. And delete that. And here, I'm going to put this as A. I'm just going to click on it. Then I'm going to click on the button I want. Strafe right. Now I got forward, backwards, right, left. This simple setup will actually help you play a little bit better. Because you find your keys here. That's what this little 1, 2, 3 is. These are already pre-bound keys. Notice my loot kind of went away. And like I want to attack that guy. But I kind of wait for him to get back to where I'm at, but it's kind of fine. I can make sure my buff's up. Now, the reason I would be using a mod is to an add-on or mod, is to move that to where I can see it here, and to change my action bars around, and to kind of add some fun stuff to make my game more enjoyable. But this little simple setup I just did will help you improve gameplay 100%. You don't need the click to move, but it's kind of cool to put on. So we're going to go through my add-ons one at a time. And that way you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so the first add-on I'm going to put on, it's called WoW Whim. It's WoW Instant Messenger. This is a little messenger app. It'll come up into a little box when you get a message instead of coming over here. And then you have to click and hit R or whatnot. This will be a little box you just click on and type. Okay? It is very simple, very easy to use. I can show all the windows. I can disable it, I can dispose it. So it's a wonderful little app. You got people up there, really don't want people on there. We are on a live server, so. The very next one is Bannon, which is going to do our bags for us. So every time I get a new little bag, I put it here, then I get the big window for the bags. It really helps. And then scrap. Now what scrap will do is it'll go ahead and sell the stuff that's got the little junk marker. Or it's supposed to. It sometimes doesn't, because the new thing for transmogs and retail, it gets a little confused from time to time. But for the most part, it'll work. So you can just sell out what you don't need. So, yeah, I'm gonna run over here, and we're gonna look kind of this way so we're not disturbing other people. So get back to the add-ons. Now you'll see I have DBM. Dude, I tried not to get him in the video. Dude's just running all around. I'm gonna be in everybody's videos. Okay. This is Deadly Boss Mods. What this does is allow you to see, like, in dungeons and raids, when the bosses come up, what's getting ready to happen. So I can make a bunch of test bars. I can see everything, kinda. But yeah, this is the stuff that's going to happen here. And then I can move these around. Just to tell me the frames. These are the boss bars here. These are the other boss bars, and this is where your other players are at.
4.
Is for classic,
3,
it's a little simple.
2, 1.
And you can select which bars, and you can go through and completely customize the announcements. There's some voice packs you can get for it too, so you don't have to use the voice that comes with it. Yeah, this tells you, you know, like you got a spell coming in, you need to move.
4, 3, 2, 1.
So. And this is It's just a really, really
4,
just cool thing to
3,
have.
2, 1. Clear incoming.
Of course, the only issue is when you make test bars, it like they don't stop. So it doesn't. There's no place to stop the test. You can span them upwards. You can span them downwards. You can change all the bar colors, all the behaviors. You can disable certain features if you don't want it. It does have integration
4,
into nameplates
3,
too.
2, 1.
And this is basically this. The mod is pretty much the same for classic and what's it called?
4,
Retail.
3, 2, 1. Clear incoming.
But like I said, the only problem is there's really no stop test. You can start a test, but you really can't stop it. And I can see my durability. So yeah, it's a really cool mod, but we're gonna reload the console, which is /console reload UI. It's console/console space reload UI. No matter what you're using. And when you reload, then those test bars will go away. It's like I said, it's really good for running dungeons and raids. This will set. That's the last thing we need to turn on, right? Okay, because once you get all your add-ons set up, then this sets them all. Every time you make a new character, this goes ahead and presets up your add-ons. So you don't have to worry about that. Another fun one is Adventure Guide Classic. That's really kind of cool, so we're not going to see it here. It's going to be right here. But yeah, as you level, this will fill in with things you can do. It's just a fun little mod that I enjoy, so I use it. This AFK screen, this is really fun that they tore this out of LVUI and made it. So if I go AFK, I get this screen instead of me just dancing around. And so it's just like little fun thing to like. Now to change my UI over where I have full control over it, I don't use Bartender or anything else. You'll see a lot of things for Bartender and all the other action bar ones. I actually use Dragonflight UI because it will completely take everything over for me. And it sets up default like this. The only thing I really don't like about it is you got to turn these custom flyouts off. Unless you want to use them, I don't ever use these. But you do have an edit mode, which is nice. You can move everything around. You can move your minimap around, but it changes the minimap and everything else. I do have one that I use. And, you know, you can go through, you can make another one. Like go new profile, then you set everything up the way you want. And this sets everything the way I need it. And then, you know, when I go to cast, my cast bars are turned off because I'm going to use quartz for those. So this defaults everything the way I want it, the UI. And speaking of cast bars, let's go ahead and turn on quartz. And now quartz has taken over my cast bars and my timers, so now my cast bars look like that. I have a nice big cast bar between myself and my target, which is very handy to know. The other add-on I talked about a minute ago was Raven, for our thingies, um, thingies for our buffs and debuffs. Raven is very good for this. Also, I don't have an experience bar down because it's just set for invisible. So this is Raven. I'm going to tell it debuffs. I'm going to tell it debuffs. You can create bars or you can create icons. I usually just do icons. And then you can move this window out of the way. And I'm going to set this buff. Wherever I set this block at is where the first buff is going to be. And then they're going to go that way. And then they're going to go up. So I need to leave room for some buffs when I set my debuffs up. Because usually you're not going to have more than 16. They'll go over 8 or however you decide to set Raven up. So when I'm happy where these are going to be, hit lock all anchors. I'll close Raven. And now when I hit my Seal of the Righteousness, which is why I chose a Paladin, is because I can go ahead and make a buff. Now you can see it's there and it's not up here where I have to look up. It's right there where I'm looking. Which is why I use Raven. Now for another add-on that I like a lot, is we're going to straighten out that minimap by using hiding bar and its options. And there we go. Now we have a nice clean minimap. All our icons are over here. And as I put more stuff up, it'll just get a little bit bigger and I can keep it closed. This gives me a nice clean UI. And this, from just doing this, easy to play. But because I do pay for the game, I want my game to look very nice. And I want to be able to use a controller. Now, I'm steering with my controller a little bit just because I already have a control set up. So there's already some control binds, but they're not going to show. But I can use them. That's why these got little lines in them. Just because I have a control bind set up. For that, I've got to use a completely different add-on. And where did it go? Console port. Now, I don't use all of console port stuff. I really only use its config and its base setup. But when you get in console port, now you can see, you know, my B is my Seal of Righteous, my A is my attack, my X on my Xbox controller is my Holy Light. And this lets me enjoy playing a little bit better because now I can just play on a controller. Which is kind of fun. But there are tons of options in here to set this however you want to set it. I'm going to hit V real quick and make sure the enemy nameplates are turned on. So you can see like the default Blizzard ones. I'm going to use another kind of default Blizzard one. But it's called Midnight nameplates. This guy got the alpha and he ripped the nameplates out. So he got the alpha for Midnight, and these are what the Midnight nameplates are. And I really do like these nameplates. They're simple. They give me all the information I need. I don't need to use mob info here. I have all the information I need here from the Dragonflight UI. And now for some just fun stuff, scrolling combat text. So I'm gonna go over and kill this guy. Now I get my, my combat text, and you can set this up any way you want to. There's all kinds of different options to make it rainbow out and stuff. They did a really good job with that. Rep by zone. What this is going to do is every time I change into a new zone that's got reputation, it will change my reputation around for me. So if I'm going to Ironforge, it will do that. I can also set it to, you know, put the numbers down or whatnot. But anytime, you know, I change an area, if I'm like in Tresidel, it'll change to that reputation faction. I also use it in retail. Really handy in retail. Oops, don't want to log out. So, going back into the add-ons. Character stats classic is nice. Because this gives you where you can just swap the character stats around that you're worried about. Right there. So if I was going protection, I would want my defenses up to where I can see them. But, you know, if I'm just going to be a spellcaster, I'm definitely going to want to know what my all my spell stuff is right there. This is just a very simplified thing, and I've been using it for a very long time. It came out in vanilla, believe it or not, and I started using it there. Chatinator, I use this on both retail and classic. This just lets me define my chat a little bit better. Or my guild chat's all in one thing. I got my party chat set up. So, and it also lets me move my chat around and lock it. Very easy to kind of know. Classic calendar, revived, is nice to have. Oops. Did I not click on it? Oh. And classic score is really cool. There we go. Classic score gives you this little thingy here, which I usually move up about right there. This kind of gives you ranks and stuff as you level and as you learn stuff. And it doesn't really have it does. So you can show the scoreboard or hide it by doing this. And then for here, if you click on that, it makes that go away. And you'll see the ring fill up as you level up and, you know, you do damage and learn skills and whatnot. It's just a fun little add-on. And that's what most of mine are, just fun little add-ons. Classic item level. I'm not going to have an item level to show, but it will display an item level if you have something with an item level. So just think about simple item level will also show speedy auto loot and sell price. I can turn all three of them on. The simple item level is going to actually show my item level here. Classic item level is just going to show it in my bags. And speedy auto loot, like once I kill this dude, which I should, you know, not have used click, but you can click too. It's okay. Boom. It just really looted that quick. So with that, something like that, and you don't see your loot come up, I actually use another add-on that's really fun. RPG loot feed. Now this is a really, really fun add-on. I don't know if it's got a thingy here. Yeah. So when I'm looking at the test mode, it shows you where the thing is. I want to drag that up. Toggle test mode off. I'm going to hit close. And now, let me go kill this guy. If I can kill it. Should be able to kill it. There we go. Now you'll see it come up here. I can just see the loot as it happens. Pretty nice, pretty cool. So you can get a lot of different add-ons. Notice I have a bunch. Dialogue UI is also another one of my favorites I use. Just simple things that make my experience a little bit better.
Good day to you.
And this is what Dialogue UI does.
See you around.
It just brings that dialogue up. I can read it. I can have a little fun. And then I got that popped up. And for people not too experienced in Classic, and for people that are experienced in Classic, the really one must-have add-on here is going to be Questy. It's really going to be this one. Because when Questy comes up, it makes, number one, it makes those clickable. And as I take the quest,
King's honor, friend. Life bless you. Go with honor, friend.
now I get these little things here, like Cobalt Vermin. We're just gonna run over here real quick. Take this.
Hello. Safe travels.
And just this little bit of stuff will give you a really good clean add-on set,
What can I do?
really good clean, you know,
Have a good one.
set to play with. But speaking of my experience bars there, that you don't see because I told you it was invisible, there's a reason it's invisible, and I'm fixing to go over that. See, reach level 2. I get like that little thing. It's really cool. And we can definitely see what I got. The other thing about Questy though is it puts it on the frame right there. You can see that's a loot. And as I come over here to these kobolds, the ones I need to kill have the little thing on them. And like the workers here do not, but the vermin does because that's what I'm after. They have the little sword on them for attack. That's a kill target, and then, you know, when they have the little bag, they're a collection target. So like I said, the other add-on I really suggest getting, since I stopped passing it, is quick orders. I really enjoy this add-on. We're gonna go in the options, add-on, then I'm gonna go to quick orders. I'm gonna hit look and feel. I'm gonna hit that to unlock it. I'm gonna move my experience. I'm gonna grab between my buttons there and move my experience bar up. Move my weapon enchant over. Move my crucial over here. My ready over here. Actually, I want to return the game because I want the swing timer right there, right where it's at. But the uptime bars can go right above it. The reminders need to come over here where I can see. The missing consumable buff needs to be here where I can see it. And the thing is, I want to make sure nothing is right here in front of that nameplate. Like I said, just click on myself and we're good to go. And now, I go back into the options. Go to look and feel and just lock that. And you can change everything here around. It's got some pretty nice stuff. Oops. I did just miss something. You do need to turn swing timers on to be able to use them, so. But we'll put that right there. Since I'm supposed to be killing this guy anyway, now you'll see your swing timer. You're going to hit here, so you want to cast any kind of spell about it, right there. And that's what swing timers are for. To let you time your swings out. So that's basically the basic add-ons that I would suggest, and the ones I use are these. There's a lot more you can use. Postal, I love. Pawn helps me with gear. Recipe Master, obviously, for recipes, which is, you know, pretty much a lot of stuff I use is for recipes. But yeah, and just, oh, and get GTFO is absolutely a must for retail and here, because what GTFO does is if you're standing in a fire that's damaging you, it will beep at you. And so, and I think there's a flame over here. Or there used to be a flame over here. Might not be a flame over here anymore. No, there's not. But if you're standing like in a fire, it will beep at you and let you know, hey, dummy, get out of the fire. Or acid or whatever else is on the ground.
See you around.
So that's where, you know, what I like to do is I just go find the add-ons that I think are going to be fun, that I want to use. Big debuffs. It's kind of a nice one. It's what it'll do is if you do get poisoned or something, it'll change your character portrait to let you know that you're poisoned. It's pretty sweet. So, but with that being said, I'm going to say like I always do, be good or be good at it. You can use a ton of add-ons or you can just use the basics. I personally, I use kind of a few to kind of make my game more enjoyable. This is the add-on, the Icy Veins one. Lets me know what I need to do, where I need to focus everything. So I really enjoy add-ons that, you know, make my time in Azeroth a little bit easier and a little bit more fun. But you guys have a really great day, and if you're not having a great day, I hope it gets a lot better for you. But we're going to stop the video here. If you want to know any more about what I use for add-ons, just let me know, and I'll go more in depth. But I just basically like having fun in the game, so I structure my game to have fun with it. You know, we all pay to play, might as well have fun, and you might as well make it where it's fun for you, because that's what I do. I make it where it's fun for me. But have a good night.